Uh, Uncle Al, you'll always be number one in my books. I'm showing one in the house and one like. You're saying you're number two? I don't know. You're the only one that said anything. And I'm having coffee Folgers with French vanilla creamer. I decided to use stick coffee. You can get a 7-pack or 7 sticks for $1 of Folgers Classic. And I put 2 in 10 ounces of water. Makes it a little bit stronger because it says you use 1 stick in 6 ounces of water. So these cups, really, you do not want to put 12 ounces in these cups. So I went ahead and did 10 ounces. So it's a little stronger. KP Heathen, good evening, my friend from Louisiana. And Joseph Moore, how are you doing? Idaho Garden Girl. So there was some confusion. Holly Ivins, hello. There was some confusion last night. I actually ran my live stream I didn't intend for it to do like this, but I actually ran my live stream for a little over 90 minutes last night. And when I went to disconnect, it kept going. It was in a loop. It went into a loop, and it kept going for another 30 minutes. And I was trying to figure out and try different things. I text messaged Uncle Al, who knows a lot more about technology than I do. He tried to help me through it, suggested things to do. The bloody thing just wouldn't disconnect. And then there were people, coming in and leaving comments like, "Oh, I think it's a silent. It's a silent. He's on a pause. It's a silent." No, it wasn't a silent. Well, it might have been silent, but it wasn't a silent. It was the bloody thing just wouldn't disconnect. And I guess it was, and it said operator error. Well, I do the same thing every time I go to disconnect. I hit end, and then it's supposed to give me a snapshot. Well, it didn't. It scrolled for about 10 seconds, and it did not give me a snapshot, and it just shut off. And then, but it was still connected, and it was like frozen in like a little 2-second loop or whatever. I was very, very disappointed, and I am going to get new equipment this summer. School's out at the end of this week, and I'm going to order. Well, I may actually go to San Antonio. It's been a while since I've done that. To go to the Apple store to get a new MacBook. If you're going to spend a couple of $1,000s on one of those things, you probably want to go buy it in person. Oh, so I do have mail. Mail call. And I'm going to open this up in a few minutes. I ordered several things on Amazon Saturday. I was supposed to get some of them today. I'll get some more tomorrow. And I ordered something today. Melinda Elliott. Hello, Melinda Elliott. Welcome. A couple of my friends, and I take a lot. Yeah, MacBook. Uncle Al. A couple of my friends, they have what they call they have like an iBook, which I guess is a less expensive version or whatever. And then they have the MacBook, which is the hardcore Macintosh. And I was planning on getting a MacBook. My daughter has one of those iBooks. Works just fine. She's had it for 4 or 5 years and works just fine for her. Got her through her master's degree. And finished up, got her through her bachelor's and her master's. So anyway, oh boy, I am tired. Today was one of those days. Two of my kids went on a field trip to the Texas State Aquarium down in Corpus. One of my paraprofessionals went along. One of my paraprofessionals stayed here. And then they sent me another paraprofessional that came in for a few periods to cover when one of my kids went out to classes. Then that kid left, and I got down to like half my kids were gone. And another kid left. I got down where I only had 2 kids. And then the kids from the field trip got back about 2 o'clock, so for the last hour, 45 minutes or so of school, I had 4 kids. But I got my grades in today. I inputted my grades, and I got my conduct in, my comments and everything, and I started working on my IEP progress reports. I've got to do an IEP progress report in the program that we use for each subject for each kid. I got 2 kids done today. I'm hoping to get the other 4 done tomorrow. Also, tomorrow will be what they call field day. They'll have a field day tomorrow. Idaho Garden Girl, welcome Idaho Garden Girl. How did the boy who didn't get to go behave? He was actually quite well behaved today for the 2 periods he was here, and then he checked out. They got him, and he went home. I was quite pleased. And that is an indication that that behavior is, you know, you can choose how to behave. If you're not under control, you can't help yourself. And somebody tells you to behave, or your parent tells you to behave, you're still going to misbehave. But when you can behave and you turn it on and off, that's choice. That's an indication of choice. It's not like it's uncontrollable. It is what it is. So I have a mail call from Amazon. I'm going to open it up in the next few minutes. Want y'all to see what I got. Some items. Stuff that you use if you can buy multiples of them. One, you don't have to go shopping as much, or you don't have to buy them as often. 2, you got backup. You got backup. So, without much further ado, I'm going to go ahead and open it up. And as I said, I'm drinking Folgers coffee. This is stick coffee, 7 sticks for $1. It has not gone up, thank God. And you basically put 1 stick in 6 ounces of water. You can use 8, but I mean, I use 1 stick in 6 ounces of water. And I normally, when I drink a 12 ounce, my Keurig can make 12 ounces, so I'll put 2 sticks in. But today, because I'm using the small cup, I really do not want to put 12 ounces and fill it up to the top, so I did 10 ounces with 2 sticks, and I put 2 little French vanilla creamers in it. Excellent coffee. So let's open up and see what we got. I'm using a Smith & Wesson pocket knife that I paid $25 for. Be interesting to see what these things cost now. $25 plus tax. I had it a few years. It's a nice heavy knife, really nice knife. You can break glass with it. You can cut cordage with it, like if you need to cut a safety belt or whatever, you can do that. It's got a serrated, it's got a straight edge, and it's got a serrated. So it's a nice knife. So let's take our box that I got in. Nice box. And I'm going to open it up. I tell you, when technology works, it's a blessing. When technology doesn't work, it's a bloody curse. And last night I was really upset because I couldn't do anything about that. It just kept on scrolling, and then you got people coming in and they're, oh, he's on a silent live stream, you know. And it's like, oh, you know, silent live stream. It ran for an extra. If I got it, ran for an extra hour. I was not happy at all. So, I can smell it. A 4-pack of Speed Sticks. Deodorant. A 6-pack of Colgate toothpaste. And it is cavity protection. I've never had a cavity, so I'm not worried about that. Oh! My digital voice recorder. USB, you can plug it in. Chargeable. USB, my voice recorder came in. Digital voice recorder. And I got some more stuff for tomorrow. Very small. Oh, it's got little buttons on this. It's got little buttons. And got earphones. Comes with earphones. And I can plug it in and USB charge it. Plug it in, charge it. And if I recall correctly, timestamp displays hours and minutes, 24-hour format, low battery indicating function, working as drive-free USB flash disk, built-in rechargeable lithium battery, recording while writing, one-click recording. And if I recall correctly, I'm looking. Something wrong with the product. You will get 30-day free return or replacement. Get a new product. Resolve your issue within 24 hours. Lifetime customer supports. Okay. Then I got instructions. Wear Home N5 Recorder User Manual. I was wanting to see how many gigs this thing has for storage. It's got a index. And it describes it, you know, like different, how to use it, how to plug in your computer, you know, or whatever to download it. You can use it with Windows and Mac. Set the date, brightness, and I paid like $20 for it, so it's not like a super expensive one. Sometimes you want to record notes or such. I will use my phone to record notes to myself. Options include off 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 120 minutes recording segments. Looking. Memory capacity 64 gigabytes. So this is not, I mean, you can get them for like $100 or so that'll do like twice that amount. Some of them will do 80 gigabytes. I'm thinking this is all I need and more for what I'll be doing with it. So I will not mess with it now, but later I will mess with it. In the meantime, let me put it up. Little Lone Prepper. Hello, Little Lone Prepper. Technology's great when it works. If it doesn't work, you're screwed. Better pull these out until I get this back in. Then I'll stick them in. It's great to have technology that works. Come on, get in there. You know, sometimes you can't get stuff back in the box when you take it out. But I did. Didn't go in like fun, but it went in. $20. Amazon. And as I said, Speed Stick. I also ordered a 4-pack of Scope mouthwash. 6-pack of Colgate. I got plenty of toothbrushes. I'll order some floss for the wife and kid. The wife should floss, but she doesn't. The kid does. So I'll go into my inventory. Little Lone Prepper, welcome. So I did a short. I loaded up a short this morning. It's got 300 and it's moving towards 400. It's got 300 and some odd views, which is nice. I'm sitting at 1,563 subscribers. I apparently picked up 1 subscriber today. Let's see if I keep them overnight. And what else would I say? Well, I got some more stuff that'll be coming in tomorrow. Looks like the Bud channel came in. Hey, Bud channel, welcome. I did a community wall post yesterday. All the channels that had been in on my prior live stream, I shouted them out. I recorded footage to load up 2 more shorts, which I'll load one up tonight probably. I'll load one up in the morning. Mr. Whistle, welcome, Mr. Whistle. I'll load one up in the morning. I may not load up another one tonight. I will plan on playing or I'll put together a playlist. I'm reaching out to some of the former channels that I had really good relations with that supported me. I supported them, they supported me, and I'm running a lot of their stuff. So I see them running my stuff. one of my friends who's a principal, and she may be the only principal that I'm friends with on YouTube that I know of. I mean, there's some other educators, but her name is Gina, and she does several Jewels of Gina, Ed's Dance, and Food, Gina Choco. Um, we've been communicating back and forth, and she is a principal at an intermediate school over in the Philippines, and she is working on her PhD. She's got a few years to go before she retires, and she's working on her PhD. And more power to the lady. I do not need the debt because it will cost. It would cost. You can do an online program for an educational degree, an EED. You can do a PhD. The PhDs are a little more, well, they carry a little more oomph to them. And you have to do a dissertation. That dissertation's a bear, and you have to defend your dissertation after you get your coursework done. No, I'm a little bit, and the lady's in her mid 50s, I think. She's in her mid 50s. She does a lot of exercise videos and such, dances. Beautiful woman, beautiful. She's had several kids, and she's beautiful, beautiful woman. Yeah, very intelligent lady, and she's a good Christian, you know. And we communicate. And like sometimes, I say, I'm going to go do this. Somebody calls me or somebody texts me, and we wind up talking and spend 15, 20, 30 minutes talking. And it's like a free counseling session for me or for the other person, or for both of us. We basically just talk about stuff. You blow off steam. You go to a licensed counselor or a psychologist, and they basically listen to you. They take notes. They ask you questions. They make you think about stuff. Have you thought about this? Have you thought about seeing it this way? What are you thinking? And they basically try to expand your thought processes so that you come to conclusions on your own. And I've had that kind of training. I'm not, and like I said, I'm not licensed. I don't have a degree in it. I've taken courses in it. And also I could have had a degree in psychology because I had the courses for psychology, but you can't like quadruple major, at least back in the day you couldn't. But I took all those. You have to have 24 hours as an undergraduate to get a major or a minor, And now they like to do double majors. Like I did general ed and special education. I had a double major in that, like secondary education. So I was certified 6 through 12. That's, junior high, high school. Now they have me down as a 4 through 8 generalist. Like I can basically teach any of the academics. It it is what it is. Yeah, it's nice that we have cool nights. I'm glad you're doing fantastic, Mr. Whistle. Mr. Whistle, I think, is somewhere, he's working on his 500. He is somewhere around 365, last time I checked him, which was, what, yesterday? If you're new in, I'm drinking Folgers coffee sticks. So the next one up, and I have all the components and I have the box. I just need to do it. The next one up will be Hillbilly Josh. Hillbilly Josh will be the next one. And I will probably do a 2-minute a shout out video with some music to it for, and then I'll put that in the goodie box video that I make, you know, and then it'll be a premiere probably on a Wednesday, probably in a couple of weeks. As I get closer and closer to the 1600, which has taken bloody well 6 months, between 15 and 1600, which is embarrassing, but it is what it is. As I get closer to that, please remember that if you want to be in the drawing, which I'll do a drawing, the only thing I tell you is please leave me a like and a supportive comment on each of the last 5 videos I release at the point that I hit that 1600. And I have not been doing the outreach to new channels. I haven't been reaching out. I can grow my channel if I reach out. You know, I've been letting people come to me. I haven't been going to them. And where am I at? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I've had 9 that I might have missed somebody that have come through. 7 in the house right now, 8 likes. Yeah, cool nights, a little bit of moisture. That's nice. They call hurricane fencing because it won't fall at a hurricane. Now, if something hits it, it will. But you know, it's got metal wiring with metal poles, you know, put together, and it's not going to come down in a hurricane. Now, if you've got like a wood fence, anything that blocks the wind gets high enough, it's going to knock it down. You know, it will knock it down. Even if you've got concrete footings, you know, for your post, it'll still knock it down or knock it loose. And I've seen that when Hurricane Harvey came through. It did a lot of damage in the neighborhood to people who had wooden fences. The hurricane fences, they're just fine. It basically did a lot of damage to my trees. You know, didn't do anything to my house, didn't do anything to the roof, didn't break any windows or anything. And the winds were like 130 miles an hour, so it was a pretty strong hurricane. And it sounded like a loud train coming through when it happened. It sounded like there was a train outside and all hell was coming through. I remember because we stayed at the house when it happened. Tornadoes, yes. Hurricanes usually have tornadoes in them. That storm that hit Houston, Texas, and killed several people and knocked out power for 1.5 million people, and now they got to boil the water because they got through and contaminated the water, and their grid was down in some areas. That had tornadoes in it. High winds, did a lot of damage. Damn good coffee. Good to the last drop. But I think that's Maxwell House's slogan was good to the last drop. Folgers was handpicked by Juan Valdez, the little guy with the burro and the poncho and the sombrero, and he'd be up there and has little bean bags and he'd be picking those coffee beans. Handpicked by Juan Valdez. Well, one thing that you probably won't hear, or you may hear, they're not talking about it. Elon Musk, who's a certifiable genius, one of the companies, you always hear about SpaceX, and you always hear about Starlink, and you hear about Tesla. You don't hear much about the Boring Company, but he's got a technology where they do tunnels under the ground, and they um, basically, when as they tunnel, they go in and they install um, metal tubing, flexible tubing, and they can basically have airflow in it, a roadway in it, lighting. You know, they got it fully, and it's adjustable. So if it's someplace where you have a earthquake, it's going to move so it won't break. And they're running that underground. They had, you hear about out um, in Nevada, Las Vegas. There's a couple of places where they were basically contracted to do underground roadways. They were doing underground roads where you could shuttle under the city, and you could go from point A to point B, and they were doing like a several mile, you know. Well, the government's using that technology. If my live stream cuts out, you'll know what happened. But the government's using that technology. And they're basically building tunnels, and they're stockpiling them, I understand. They're putting tunnels in between point A to point B that they can put lots of people in. Breathable air, lighting, climate controlled. And they're stocking them with lots of stuff. It's like, under Washington, D.C., you've got tunnels going from this place to that place to the other place. There's a bunker under the White House. That was way before Elon Musk. They've got underground tunnels going from Congress to, different places, different government buildings in Washington, D.C., the Pentagon, and they got a lot of tunnels and such so that they can go back and forth. The other thing is, like with Elon Musk, they're big into the electric vehicles, so you're not polluting the air. Like if you were using gasoline, if you were using like the tunnels under the tunnel, huge tunnels that they built under the English Channel that links France in England. The cars going under that, and they're going 30, 40 miles under the 30, 40 miles long. I don't forget exactly how long it is, but it's under the English Channel. And like it took them years and billions of dollars to build them. And these are gasoline vehicles that are going under each direction. But with Musk, everything's electric, like Teslas and such, and vehicles and trucks and such that work on electricity. And I'm sure they can be using golf carts, little gators and such to run up and down these tunnels, electric ones, using lithium batteries or whatever. That's what, the government's doing that. The Russians are the same way. The Russians have got big bunkers stuffed with stuff that they can put thousands of people in. Doomsday type stuff. Mom of 4 boys, welcome. I have not been looking. I am sorry. Joshua Humphrey. I have been trying to avoid using people's Christian names. I've been using their channel, at least with the ladies. I've been using their channel names. And I do it because I figure, nobody wants everybody to know what their name is, so they use their channel names. How you doing, Joshua? It would also make job in this. I think Joshua Humphrey is related to Yoda. I am wondering, why are you here? That's my Yoda. So, as I said, I had one of my mail calls come in. I'd ordered some items. I've got a stash of liquid paper coming in that I ordered. And I've got a 4-pack of Scope mouthwash coming in. I'm ordering things that we use. That way I don't have to keep buying them. And I don't have to go to Walmart, and go pick up stuff. I'm gonna, when school gets out, I'm gonna do some videos using these and using the, because I've done videos using them, but I'm gonna do some more videos where I will show you boiling water or heating a retort pouch or a Hormel Complete or a Dingy Moore, these 8-ounce, 9-ounce, 10-ounce meals that you get in retort type pouches or plastic, and you can boil, same thing with brown rice. You can microwave it, or you can put it in, boil it, get it in hot water. I buy these by the case. You get like 9 in a, you can order these. Now I will tell you, I go to Aldi for these. I get a case. It's got 5 chicken, it's got 5 beef. Right now, and it's like they're $1 a piece, so for $10. Whereas if you order on Amazon, you get an 8-pack. You can get 4 of each, but it's $10. So you're going to pay a little bit more getting 8 by ordering it on Amazon, as opposed to going to Aldi and you get 5 of each, or you can buy them individually. That and crackers. Pay $1.85 for a box of crackers, saltines, off-brand, just generics, and they're good for, a year, 14, 15 months. When I buy them, I buy a bunch of them because I'm eating them all the time. Supplement. Eating beans, eating chili. I've been eating vegetarian chili lately. I'm not turning into a vegetarian, but I'm trying to eat healthy, and I'll eat like a 3-bean chili. Vegetarian chili. I'll also eat like baked beans, brown beans, somebody, and I hadn't commented yet. I have not been commenting on. I've been reading some stuff through the day at work. I'll look at comments, on my analytics. Hey man, those tacos must give you a lot of gas. Honestly, they don't. I can drink milk and I don't get gas. I'm not lactose intolerant. I'm Northern European, and the Northern Europeans have got a high tolerance for milk. Around the world, babies and little children up till about the age of 4, everybody can process milk. And then that lactose intolerance kicks in at about the age of 4 for a lot of people, like people of sub-Saharan African, Asians. There are people, Native Americans. There are people that they're lactose intolerant. My daughter is lactose intolerant. You know, she's half Hispanic, and they get gas. So, and she likes to drink alternative milk like almond milk, oat milk, whey milk type. So, like the freeze dried milk that I get is whey milk. It's the alternative milk. It's not the cow based. So, it's not going to give you gas. The chocolate, the moo, it's not going to give you gas. Um, Orange Delight. I buy lots of beverages. I got lots of canned goods. I've got lots of different stuff, but I buy lots of freeze dried beverages, coffee, tea, grape, orange, stuff that's like 25-year shelf life. And you got to have lots of clean water when you're using that stuff. Lots of clean water. Has anybody else snuck in on me? Yeah, oats. You want a manual grinder. Now, a good manual grinder is going to cost you $40, $50. It's nice to have an automatic one, something that runs on electricity. But if electricity goes out, unless you've got a good inverter and you want to waste the power, then it's good to have a manual grinder. Like oats, I buy like lots of whole oats for like oatmeal or whatever. You can cook it. My daughter loves the cooked oats. You can make flour out of that, and you can grind it up. You can grind corn. You can grind lots of stuff, and to make flour. And I buy number 10 cans of it, of flour and such to make the powders, you know. A rude comment. Hi, SD Mountain Man. All right, who made a rude comment? My kid will only eat the beef. I mean, they will only eat the chicken. Yeah. I eat chicken and beef. Yeah, I saw that comment. Seemed pretty rude to me. I don't know who made a rude comment. I missed it. I love biscuits. Hey, Yoda. Yoda. Hey, Dave. Thank you for coming. Hillbilly Josh. Hello, Hillbilly Josh. I hope Echo's feeling better. Hillbilly Josh will be the next one getting a goodie box from me. However, before I do that one, I'm going to do like a little 2-minute shout out video where I'll take some images off of his site. He's working on 1,300 subscribers, working his way to 1,300 subscribers. And I'll do a nice little tribute video. I enjoy doing that, and I'll put it in the I'll put it in the I'll put it in the goodie box video that I'll make, and it'll be a premiere, and it'll probably be a 15-16 minute video, and it'll have different stuff in it, you know. I'm blow hard when it comes to talking, and but I'll do a box video and where I box it up and everything. I got all the components, and I got the box, so just doing it, getting it done. Yeah, I came in this evening about 4:30. I sat down, and I said, I need to take care of my head, so I razor, cleaned my head up, and did the throat area, so it's nice and clean. And now I'm scratching, just feeling it, because it's not smooth as a baby's butt, but some places where, like certain areas I got tons of hair, and other areas I'm just bald, up on the top. I got that U-shaped hair. Uh, oh, yeah, well, it was a kid. It was probably a 25, 30-year-old kid. He had watched, I guess he had watched, I don't know if he'd watched a chili or if he'd watched one of my taco videos. And he commented, like really, and they said, "Bitch, that gives you a lot of gas." And that was sort of a rude comment, but no, a lot of people it does. But no, I'm not lactose intolerant. It doesn't really affect me. Um, I use green sauce on it. I actually use the green sauce that they have from Speedy Stop. I use one little sauce for each one. In my aides, I gave taco to each of my aides. One of them uses the red sauce. The other one likes the green sauce. But I mean, I can't affect their pay, but I can thank them because I make so much more than they do. I can thank them by feeding them, and in Latin society, or you say Hispanic society or whatever, in a lot of societies, you show affection by feeding people. You show you care about them by feeding them. And I oftentimes do. And then I will occasionally bring a taco for this student or for that student, and occasionally have a pizza party for them. They love pizza. They love treats. I do treats. I give them treats. Andre the Giant, may rest in peace. Ivan Putski, may they rest in peace. Well, if you go to the left coast, the left, uh, the Socialist Republic, you go over to the left coast, they're called burritos. Now, we use the term burrito, but at breakfast time, we use the term tacos. Like, you can get a bean and cheese burrito at Taco Bell, and that's a burrito. It's not a breakfast. It's not for breakfast. It's like lunch or dinner. Whereas you get like an egg and bacon or egg and bean, or you get a potato or whatever, and they're called tacos or taquitos in Texas, in our area. Now out on the West Coast, they'll call them a burrito. So it's a little different terminology. But either which way, I understand what you're talking about. Stephanie. I used to get breakfast pizza for my staff. Now and then, or have lunch, and if just a few, might grab sandwiches from Casey's. We're going to have the last day of school, we're having a potluck. So I have to bring something. I used to joke, I bought it with my own hands. I would bring something and I would say, I bought it with my own hands. Like, I made it with my own hands, I bought it with my own hands. I don't have time to cook or to do things, do little breakfast casseroles or whatever. I don't have time to do that. I get somebody to do it for me, or I buy something, you know. And that's another thing. I think about time as money. So if I've got to go and do something and it takes me an hour to do it, I'm thinking about that as like $40, $50. that hour's time is $40, $50. I'm thinking that is $40, $50. When I start figuring out what I make in my time, I think about, well, is it worth it for me to do this, or can I get somebody else to do it for me? You know, can I pay for it? And I start thinking about that. So I look at time as money. And no, I'm not a big capitalist. I'm just saying. Yeah, it is what it is. You just describe it as what it is. 8 in the house, 12 likes. Now, I don't know. I did not get a snapshot yesterday. So I don't, and I went for an hour and a half. I went for a legitimate hour and a half, and I had 10 or 11 or 12 people in all during it. And at the very end, when I was getting ready to leave, it dropped down to about 8. I could have kept going, but it's like I don't talk or run to just, so I don't have a problem doing a 30-minute, and then I get like half the time. I like to do at least an hour, so the people who are running a playlist and give me playtime, I get an hour from them, you know. And that's why I'm always, I occasionally will tell Melinda, you need to run an hour. Like Melinda Elliott, she does really good stuff, but she'll do, like, she's traveling. She's her daughter, she's getting driven from home to the office. And it's a 30-minute drive. So she'll do like a 30-minute live stream, you know. Sometimes it's 20 minutes. And she'll do those. And there's nothing wrong with them. And I'll run them, for her. But she's not getting as much playtime. If you do an hour, and that's not being verbose, there are people who do a 3, 4 hour, 5 hour, they'll do an overnight, silent whatever, where they shows them sleeping, or it shows their aquarium or whatever, and then people will come in and go and all, and then they'll have like 1 or 2 people, or they've got devices with other channel names, and they'll run those, and that will give them, they'll get like 15, 16 hours of playtime just from running those on a couple of devices. You wonder how some people, and they've got like 8 or 10,000 subscribers, but they drop a video, and 3 or 4 days later, it's had a dozen views. So there aren't that many people actively, that they don't have that following. They've got the subscribers, but they don't have the numbers of people who active. Like me, I got 25, 30 people that watch mostly what I do. And I'm not bragging. I thank all of you who are here now. Don't have a big head or anything. I've got a following of, I do a live stream and it'll be the same 20 people. And then there'll be the same 8 or 10 people that come in afterwards that will watch it, or afterwards, or that'll comment on it, people that they work. And this is not a good time for them for my live stream. But they'll go back and they'll watch part of it, or they'll watch all of it, give me watch time. And they enjoy it, and they make comments that I know that they were looking at what was doing. And thank God, I thank them. And then I try to give as many of those people as I can watch time myself, the ones that have channels that create content. Because I got about a dozen or so people who follow me that aren't content creators, so I can't really give back to them other than to shout them out on my community wall. Or I do a video and I shout them out in my videos. I'll link them in my videos, in the description of my video. WD Glock and Roll. Welcome, WD Glock and Roll. I bought my daughter a 9mm Glock when she turned 21. She's 25 now. I've been promising her a new one. Me, I'm old school. I use Smith & Wesson. I like Smith & Wesson. I have my mother's Lady Smith stainless steel 3-inch 357 cherry wood grips. That's my carry. I also have a Smith and Wesson 9mm stainless pistol, 15 rounds in the clip, one up the pike. I got a couple of spare clips for it. Uh, Depending what device you're using, like I'm using an old iPhone 7 right now. I'm getting ready to upgrade it. I'm using an iPhone 7, and there is you basically record. You can either take stills or you can shoot video, and basically you shoot video. Now some people handhold. I've got a ring light that I can mount it to, where they have a little tripod you can mount it to, and you basically just set it running. And then I use iMovie to edit. My friend AK Fabe taught me how to do it. AK, she contacted me, left me a really extensive comment here recently, and I thanked her and I gave her a sincere one back and said, hey, when you feel like it, call me, or text me. She hasn't, but she'll surprise me one of these days. I might surprise her because I've got her number, and we used to communicate all the time. The Sheck family, welcome. Hope you're having a blessed day. I am the Shack's family. I've got that. It's one of the ones where I've hit the notification, get notifications. So I watch a lot of shorts, and I watch community wall posts. They'll put up a lot of community wall posts of images of stuff. Thank you for coming by and have a blessed day. Model 66 Smith. Excellent. My father carried a Colt revolver. A 32 caliber Colt. Back in the days, they had like 32-20s and 32s, and then the 38 special became it became the police, and then they came out with the Magnum. Back in the days. So, every day when I wake up, I thank God for the day. I do. I thank God for the day. And I pray the Lord's Prayer. I was a scout for a couple of years back in the days. My father passed away and I stopped. And he used to help me, and he used to go, and we'd go to the meetings and such. And every once in a while I flash back on, we'd have meetups and such where, you get all the dens together in the area. And I can remember the uniform and patches and all the various stuff, The scout motto is be prepared. And I've always followed that scout motto, be prepared. The scouts are changing their name, now they're a combined boys and girls together. Apparently they had to file for bankruptcy because of all the pedophile issues they had with some of the scoutmasters molesting kids over the years. And they basically they're trying to settle up claims on people who are now they're 30, 40 years old. They got claims against the scouts because of, some pervert scoutmaster, that took advantage of little boys or whatever. which is really horrible. Stuff like that happens. You know, used to joke about the Catholic priests who were gay, and some of them, you know, with the altar boys and such. I mean, they had a lot of cases, you know, a lot of stuff, you know, and they'd try to cover for it, and they'd ship them around, you know, and they, you know, and now a lot of that stuff's coming out, you know, and just horrible, horrible. Um, I don't understand it. Up until the first 1,000 years of Christianity, priests were married. Priests would marry. They'd have kids, and they were legitimate. Then a pope came up with the idea, well, if we don't allow priests to marry, then that means they have a child. It's an illegitimate child, and that child can't inherit, and therefore the church gets their property. So you'd have like a lot of lesser nobility, or second, third sons. You know, the nobility. They would give that son to the priesthood, and they'd give them some. They'd get some property or land or a means to support themselves. And they didn't want them marrying because they could leave what they had to a child, an eldest son or whatever. So they decided, well, priests are not going to be allowed to marry. And that's where they started getting the illegitimate children, and you get some of these priests who were gay, and you know, this stuff. You know, you had a lot of, you know, issues. People would, what are you talking about? Well, no, that's the history of the church. I studied extensively. I've got a degree in history. I've studied church history. I get Catholics pissed off at me. I was raised as a Catholic. I get Catholics pissed off at me all the time because I talk about it's like the rosary. You think the rosary's been around forever? That was a middle age, you know, late middle age thing when they came up with the rosary. Praying to a dead woman. You know, Mary was the mother of God, and she was a Holy Mary, but why do you pray to somebody who's dead? They're sleeping. She's not floating around up in a cloud someplace. She's waiting for the judgment just like the rest of us. Oh, you can't say that. You know, I guess that's one of those things where I'll get one of those content things, Uncle Al, where they'll put a warning on about me. Uncle Al, thank you for coming in. Oh, I'm over 60 minutes. That's 63 minutes. I'm down to 4. All right, guys. Life is good, but it is what it is. I'll do another live stream tomorrow. Thank y'all for coming in. I'll put up a couple of shorts, or at least one short. I'll do some community wall posts. Keep looking at my content. I appreciate you. I'll do some more unboxing as stuff comes in. Everybody have a blessed day. Thank you.